Hello and welcome to Backlinking, the PKM podcast. In today's podcast, we are talking about the browser battles. Today is July 11th, and I got access to the comment browser yesterday. And I am really excited about it. Until now, I have been using Dia from the browser company, but I am changing it up to Comet from Perplexity. I've been paying for Perplexity for a while now, together with Raycast AI. So if you follow this channel a lot, I've been using Raycast AI for a while, from all the way back from January, I think. But I also have an Android phone. I also have two Windows computers, and Raycast is coming for Windows, but not for Android. And I wanted something that was available everywhere and also available on the web, because I tend to use other people's computers a lot as well. It's just I'm I'm traveling a lot, and I've been traveling a lot lately. So I end up in situations where a web interface would be amazing. So I ended up with Perplexity. I've been paying for it for 2 months now. I am planning to go away from the Raycast AI subscription and just pay for Perplexity. And that is honestly because I can't afford that many subscriptions. I already feel like I have too many of them. But I just wanted to talk about this idea of like browsers and browser battles, because we have a lot of things happening. So Google with Chrome is trying to integrate Gemini a lot more, and also with Google Search they're trying to include Gemini a lot more. And also Opera is coming out with an agentic AI browser. Dia and the browser company already have their out. It is currently still in beta. The same goes for Comet, and I've only tested out Dia and Comet feels like tailored more towards like people in the productivity community, like people who are really into productivity, and they spend a lot of time thinking about productivity and workflows, while Dia feels like more of a casual browser. Both of them are quite advanced at this point, but if I would put them like into different buckets, I would say that Comet seems to be more for like hardcore productivity users, while Dia feels like it is more for everyone. Um, and I think Dia is further along in its development. The Comet browser is a little slow. Like, I completely understand why they haven't rolled this out fully yet, because it is a little slow. There are a couple of issues. I don't like the user interface as much. Like, I think Dia is probably the most beautiful browser I have seen so far, and Comet still needs a little bit of a work, but um, Comet allows the AI to like go into your browser and do things for you. I'm not completely trusting AI to the point where I could ask it to buy plane tickets for me. I'm not there yet, but I think we will end up getting there. Like, let's say I had three tabs open, one with my calendar, one with my email, one with my note-taking app, let's say four, and one with me trying to get the tickets. So calendar, email, note-taking app, and the place where I buy the tickets. And I could ask AI to, based on my calendar, my note-taking app, and my email, to book me tickets for. Let's say I wanted to go to London, just as an example, and it would go ahead and do that and find the time that fits and book the tickets. I think we will get there at some point. Currently, I don't think we are close enough to it. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend trying it out, but because AI still tends to hallucinate, and I don't want to end up in the wrong country or travel in the wrong week. Of course, that is not going to happen, because it will stop at the checkout, for example, and you can prompt it to like stop at certain points or ask you questions. So there are ways of avoiding that hallucination and that issue. But it is also really slow. So I tried to get it to search for some things in Heptabase for me, but it was just too slow. To the point where I was like, it is much faster to just do it by myself. But it isn't necessarily about what these AI browsers are right now. It is more about how they are going to shape the future we are going to live in. And if you're new to this podcast and this channel and me, I'm a really big fan of browsers. Like, I do everything in my browser. I almost never download applications. I just use the browser. I don't know why. It's just the way I'm used to using a computer. So I'm a big fan of web apps. I know that everyone aren't a big fan of it, but a lot of my friends who aren't into productivity are really big fans of web applications as well. And people around my age in general, at least the ones I've met, are big fans of browsers and web apps. It is just simpler. Um, so I am a big fan of browsers, and I am a really big believer in AI inside of browsers because I think that's where the context is. And especially for Perplexity, I think Perplexity and also Google probably has a competitive edge over something like Dia. Perplexity's competitive edge is that like it has a memory feature, so whenever you talk to the Perplexity app and you ask it questions, it is also like deeply integrated to the iOS system. I use it a lot to fix my calendar or change calendar events and things like that. So I think it does an amazing job at that. And I am a really big fan of the application in general. But the memory feature combined with being available everywhere means that it knows a lot more about you than Dia does at first. It also tracks your browser history, I think, and there are privacy concerns there and things that needs to be discussed. And I will do that a- at some point. I will make a video about privacy and AI, but I haven't done enough research on it yet. But in general, like, I feel like Perplexity, with all of the information it already has and the memory, it has more context. And I think everything in AI is about context. Like, we all have the same models, but what makes them different is the context. So I think Perplexity has an edge there. Google, of course, has an edge. Google knows probably everything about you. It knows more about you than you know about you. Uh, I I am a little tired of Google and all of the tracking, but you get the point here. Google knows a lot about you. Probably one of the applications that knows most about you, or one of the companies that knows most about you. So that is a competitive edge, of course. And like, I think those two have a competitive edge. I think Dia is the most like beautiful one, and it has, because of Arc, it has a lot of brand reputation. A lot of people like Dia and gave the browser company a second chance. So I think that is something the browser company has. Opera is like somewhere far behind. I don't know why people don't pay attention to Opera. I think it is quite a good browser. I used it for a while after the browser company abandoned Arc. So I think the Opera has like a track record of creating good stuff. So I will be following them as well. But right now it is Perplexity and Dia first. Then we will see what Google does with Google Chrome, because in Google's case, it is also a little different. They rely heavily on search. So in Perplexity's comment, when you search, you actually search with Perplexity and not with Google, which is unusual at first. But for Google to like keep the revenue they get from search, they can't totally abandon it and do AI search instead. They have implemented some like Gemini AI stuff when you search, So it is a little hard to predict where Google is heading. There is also all of these lawsuits going on, and the idea of Google spinning off Chrome. So a lot of things happening there. But I think Perplexity's comment looks really interesting. I think Dia looks really interesting, and there will be this big battle of who is first and who is first to different markets, because I think there are different markets here. Like you can have the one browser that everyone uses, or the browser that like regular people use, the browser I can see my fiance, my friends, my sister, my parents use. I think right now that would be Dia. And you also have the browser where I think that my like people in the productivity space and people I talk with on X and people I talk with on social media will use. That will probably be the Comet browser as of right now, because it has a lot more advanced functionality. So I asked it yesterday, I think, to go in and go through my LinkedIn posts for the company I work at and take all of those analytics and put it into a separate Google Docs and write a report for me there. And it did exactly that. I downloaded the report and I could send it off to my team. So it can do things like that. I find that really interesting, but it is slow. Like the AI use a lot of time, but I think Perplexity Comet is like the first example of what the future of browsers can become. And as I said, there are issues here we need to discuss, like privacy, at some point in the future. But the idea looks really fascinating. And currently, we have three or four in the works. It will be exciting to see where Chrome heads. Um, it will be exciting to see where Dia continues to go, because Dia relies heavily on skills, which is just like custom prompts or AI agents within the browser. And Perplexity relies heavily on the idea of the AI doing things for you. And currently, I am leaning on Comet, but I think Dia isn't far behind. I think I would put Chrome at three, because there is a lot of insecurities around like what will happen to Chrome. Um, and the last one is Opera's browser, which I haven't seen anything of yet, so I will place that last. That would probably be my power rankings at the moment, but things change a lot. And that brings me to my final point here. The productivity, the productivity space and browsers and things like Raycast and the space in general is changing so fast that it is hard to like stick with applications, or it is hard to like bet on applications, simply because like I made a podcast episode, I think it was a month or two ago. It was late May, so around 2 months ago now, or 1.5 months ago, where I talked about how Raycast has changed the way I think about productivity, and it has. It still has. Um, but now Perplexity has done the same thing in a different way, because with Raycast, I was like one AI subscription that talks to all of my applications. And I think still think that is right, but now I'm like one AI subscription in the browser that uses the context in my browsers to do the things I want. So I will have one AI subscription. It will be in the browser, and I will use my browser for AI stuff. So things change quickly. That's the point. So I am not going to pay for any yearly subscriptions at the moment. Just another example, like I'm sticking with my productivity applications, but one of the reasons why I picked Heptabase was that it had AI chat. But if I have AI in my browser, then I don't need the AI chat anyways. So that is also just another thing that the requirements for my different applications, they change as the productivity space in general changes. And I think we live in really exciting times, being able to see all of the browser stuff and seeing everything that happens and all of the interesting stuff, and not knowing exactly what the future will look like. I think everything around the space and around productivity is super, super exciting currently. And I will continue to play around with Comet, and I will probably do a video on it. It will hopefully be out by the time this podcast episode is out, but the browser wars are really starting, and it will be something that I will keep an eye on, because it is probably one of the most exciting things in the productivity space. But I think that covers it for today's podcast episode. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't done so already, please do hit the subscribe or follow button, and I hope to see you again quite soon.